Hi guys, I welcome you all to day 40 of our anthropology lecture series. So we had already started the economic anthropology and now let's get started with the topic. So yesterday basically we had just done the meaning, scope and history and what all we are going to read in this chapter. So let me just give you a quick reminder as to what we have studied. देखो economic anthropology we were saying that their economy basically, so focus area was tribals and their economy is not a standalone feature. That means their economy is embedded in their socio-cultural matrix, and if we need to study their economy, so we need to study it with respect to their culture, right? So this was what we had discussed yesterday very briefly. So today we will start with the type of exchanges. Now what is an exchange? Exchange is basically when if A, that this is a person A and this is a person B. For example, this person wants to exchange mangoes for, okay, let's say avocados, right? Because for example this person grows avocados and this person grows mangoes, but it's not that this person for his whole life will have mangoes or will be happy with mangoes. So if he needs avocados, he can exchange it with the person B and then they both can maybe share half mangoes and half avocados, right? So this is how exchanges takes place, because human beings are not self-sufficient. That means there will always be a need to interact and to exchange, be it for goods and services, be it for ideas, because there is a need for interaction, and with that interaction comes in rights and obligations, exchange of goods and services, right? So the need of exchange, because whatever you have, you will never feel happy or be satisfied with what you have if you only have rice for rest of your life, and that is not going to sustain you, right? So you need to exchange it for something which is of importance to you, and then the interactions start. So if you have to talk how this is related, because what is in economy? Economy is basically the production, consumption patterns, distribution patterns, right? Production, consumption and distribution patterns, how the prices are set and how the demand and supply works, right? But उनके केस में या ट्राइबल्स के केस में तो ऐसा होता ही नहीं है, because for them the production, consumption, distribution works in a very different way. It can be an exchange also, right? So that is how the concept of exchange has come in. Okay, so the first type of societies, the first kind of economic anthropology that we are going to read in it is reciprocity. That means there are many societies who have reciprocity as the means of exchange. This is how they operate. The production, distribution, consumption patterns are based on reciprocity. So let's start with it. Reciprocity is basically a principle of mutuality. For example, this person is, maybe I do not know what this is exactly, but kuch fish for something like that they are exchanging with each other, right? So mutuality kya ho gaya? What is mutuality? Mutual is you give me something, I give you something, like that, mutual, right? So whatever you do for me, I do for you. It's like that. So, and a very important feature of this is it is always done in people who share equal position in the society. For example, if I give you an example, there is a king and somebody who comes to the door of this king, a poor person, a poor peasant of his kingdom, okay? And if this person, this king gives something to this poor peasant, this is not reciprocity, because it is more of a one-sided relationship, right? What can this poor person offer the king, right? So when we are talking about reciprocity, it has to be among people who are sharing an equal position in the society, and also they are related to each other. For example, reciprocity is जैसे हमारे घर में on festivals रिश्तेदार आते हैं, right? Relatives come and they give the children money, and immediately your mother will also take the money and give it to their children. That is reciprocity. That means if you are doing something for us, we will also do something for you. It is like that, and these type of exchanges are generally seen in tribal societies. अब ये जो हमने example लिया of relatives, this is just a way of giving a gift to somebody. That is not the way our societies operate, but this is the way tribal societies operate. That means their economy operates like this. So when it comes to economy, that means every transaction, every economic transaction is happening based on reciprocity. That means people who have equal relation with each other, they are related to each other either by blood or either by marriage, and it is more prevalent in tribal societies and was studied by Marshall Salins, right? Okay, so now gifts between non-market, non-hierarchical relation, very important. Non-market, that means happens outside the market, because अभी हम market भी पढ़ेंगे, so just remember it. Market क्या होता है? Where it's a place, market is a place where buyers and sellers meet, and they either buy or sell the products for a price, right? That is what market is. So this is a non-market thing, that means happening outside a market. And then non-hierarchical, obviously, because we are talking that it's among people who are equal in rank, in position. That means people like siblings, they are not like having a very different social stature, right? Siblings are generally part of the same household, and they have similar kind of social prestige and everything, right? Because वो societies इतने complex नहीं है. It's not like one एक पढ़ लिख के NRI बन जाएगा and other will stay back, and then somebody will become an IAS officer and the prestige would change. So udhar it is more or less same and equal. So if we have to take an example of reciprocity, we can say the Bemba community. इसमें क्या होता है basically in the Bemba community, and you can relate it with our Indian tradition also. So whenever whenever there is a childbirth, ठीक है, so what happens ना, जो lady है उसका brother will come with a lot of gifts. So they will come and they will present the family with a lot of gifts. So this is a example of gift exchange, or we can say reciprocity. Okay, they will come and they have an obligation that they have to give gifts to this women's family, right? So the characteristics of reciprocity are, the societies are very simple with simple technology, no surplus. Okay, relations are symmetrical. Symmetrical हमने बात कर लिया. Again, there is no asymmetry when it comes to power, prestige, wealth, economic capacity, all of that. Parties are independent to each other and are equal in wealth, social status and power. Okay, so now Marshall, okay, just wait. Yeah, so basically now Marshall Salins, what he did, he gave certain classification on types of reciprocity. That means he divided the reciprocity into three things, that is balanced, which is positive, then it was negative, and there is generalized, right? So before starting these three types of reciprocity, first just see how the tribe, the whole thing is made up of. For example, सबसे पहले in the core of the things would come a family, then many families will make lineage, then many lineages will make a village, many villages will make a tribe, and then after that it goes on to increase, right? So let's start. Basically, when we are talking about balanced, or let's start with the generalized one first. Okay, पहले हम बात करते हैं general reciprocity की. So if you can see in this picture, general वाला general reciprocity सबसे inside है, that means up till here you can say, from here to here, ठीक है. Then I'll change the color. Then balanced reciprocity starts and goes somewhere till here you can say, and then after this starts the negative reciprocity. Okay, so now let's try and understand this. Let me just make it here a small one, small circle: family, lineage, tribe, sorry, village, tribe, and then something outside it. Okay, intertribes. Okay, so now basically, as we have studied from family till lineage, from family till lineage, they are people who are directly related to us, that means either by blood or through marriage. That means somewhere down the line we can say they are part of our extended family, right? So when you know, when it comes to family, when we are talking about family or lineage, we will do something without thinking that we will want anything in return. So general reciprocity में यही होता है. You do not think that you are going to get anything in return. You do it out of love. It's out of love. Philanthropic activity रहती है. That means there is no immediate want of anything from the family, right? So generalized reciprocity is the closest. That means the distance among the kins is the closest. ठीक है ना? It's the most closest kind of reciprocity that can happen. For example, जो हमने example ली थी बेम्बा community की, वो हम यहाँ पे fit कर सकते हैं. किसको गिफ्ट दे रहे हैं? बहन को at the time of childbirth. So this is a generalized reciprocity. They are not thinking that they will get something in return apart from कि कुछ social prestige मिलेगा, right? And social prestige मिलेगा. For example क्या होता है, जैसे अगर हम अपने North Indian culture की बात करते हैं, many times you give gifts as a matter of rituals or as a matter of the customs and values that we have got, right? So इसमें there is no demand, there is not any requirement of anything in return. ठीक है. Second आ जाएगा आपका balanced reciprocity. Balanced reciprocity जो start हो सकती है आपके lineage से लेकर till your village. अब this is village we are saying because try and think that we are studying from the perspective of the primitive and tribal communities, right? So उनके लिए village, tribe, all of that. You can say right tribe तक, ठीक है. So इसमें क्या होता है? There is always a mutuality involved. That means if there is any exchange, it is immediately reciprocated. For example, if you give me any gift, I will return it to you as a matter of gesture, because यहाँ पे people are not that close, they are not like people from the family, but they are mere acquaintances, you can say friends, you can say people who work together, so like that. So इसमें examples आप ले सकते हो कि why would you do these kind of reciprocities? To build up friendships, because man is a social animal and he needs to survive. To survive, he needs to always make his group bigger and bigger, and for that he needs to do friendships, alliances. It could also be done at the time of marriages when you are making new groups, right? So at that time also, for example, होता है ना, अभी भी होता है कि दो फैमिलीज जब एक दूसरे को शादी पे गिफ्ट देती हैं, अगर एक फैमिली देती है तो दूसरी इमीडिएटली उनको गिफ्ट दे के कंप्लीट करती है. सो इट इज़ लाइक दैट. थर्ड कम्स द नेगेटिव रेसिप्रोसिटी, विच विल हैपन फ्रॉम after outside your tribe. So basically outside your tribe all the transactions as per Marshall Sahlins was negative. So इसमें क्या होता है, tribals are a very you can say उनका ना एक पूरा system होता है which is very different from our system. For example, if a person, हम बोलते हैं अतिथि देवो भव, people who will come from outside, we would love them, we will respect their culture. It is not that tribals do not do it like that, but then there is some lack of rules and things, and also if they are living in the same area, there are often raids that they do on each other. For example, wife raid, then there are cattle raids. So all of these things, because they are living in scarce resources, so what they can do to increase their survivability, so often it happens that they indulge into fights, right? Fights, feuds, wars, so all of this, and this is what according to Marshall Sahlins is the negative reciprocity. These blood feuds, right, these are all negative reciprocities according to him. So I hope that you understood the whole topic. So let's move on. I've put in 2 examples here, 2 case studies for you to give any example. Like there's a tribe, Jung or Huansi tribe. In them there is a Zaro gift exchange. Basically it's a patrilineal tribe. So what happens is, when a girl is born, her siblings and her set of kins will give her gifts, okay, and these gifts will remain with this girl till the time she gets married. And when she gets married, so these gifts are passed on to the siblings of her husband. So then what happens is, this is done to cement her relationship in her in-laws, and also to give security to the girl. For example, if ever this husband now wants any help, ठीक है ना, so now he can take help from the siblings of this girl. So this is just a way how things matlab work, and this is a gift exchange also. So this is one example. And the other example of a negative reciprocity, you can say it's what you call daan, like daan by higher caste to lower caste. So what happens is, it used to happen in the earlier times, when higher caste, if they feel that some problem has occurred, or they need to get some evil eye, ward off the evil eye, so what they will do is ना, they will take some item, like you can say anything, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना अभी के टाइम पे कुछ नींबू मिर्ची का, you know, you do some ritual with that, and then it's like you warded off the evil eye, right? So वैसे ही कुछ, they will take some product, they will give it to the lower caste, and this lower caste has to keep this product with themselves, because now according to this higher caste they have warded off the evil, and now this nazar utarna has happened, and this lower caste will keep. So this is a type of negative reciprocity, ठीक है ना, asymmetric है ना, this is asymmetric, because इसमें कुछ you know जो it's not happening with a good intention, right? So this is one example of it. So now this theory of Marshall Sahlins obviously got criticism. It was done by Tim Ingold. He said that what basically Marshall Sahlins' theory was based on the emotion and the kin distance. Let me show you. Emotion, that means यहाँ पे it was more of love, यहाँ पे it was more like indifference, cordial relation, and यहाँ पे there was hatred and animosity towards each other. And kin distance हो गया यहाँ से लेकर यहाँ lineage तक, फिर lineage से आगे आपके tribe तक, and then outside. So this shows कि कितने distance पे वो kin है. That means how close you are to that person. यहाँ पे very close, यहाँ पे you are cordial, and यहाँ पे तो animosity है, right? Hatred है towards each other. So this was his premise of giving a theory. So Tim Ingold says this is not an appropriate model, and he says positive, both positive and negatives can happen on any area. For example, जब हम बात करते हैं सबसे बेसिक वाला, राइट, अगर जैसे ये हम बना लेते हैं तो सबसे बेसिक होगी आपकी generalized. Then आपकी आती है positive and negative. वो कहते हैं generalized में भी there can be positive and negative. It is not like generalized अच्छा ही है, out of love है, all of that. It's not like that. For example, he took the example of sharing and demand. He says, if you share something with somebody out of love, it is good, it is very nice. But if you demand for it, just because that is your family, just wait guys. Yeah. So he says, just because it's your family and they are in the obligation to give you that thing and you're demanding for it, it is wrong. So according to him, generalized maybe sharing is positive and demand is negative, whereas according to Marshall Shalins it was only positive. उसके हिसाब से generalized was good. And then if we talk about the last thing, जैसे कि negative में, कि negative according to Marshall Shalins was wrong only, that means उसमें animosity and all of that. But he says no, barter and theft can be based on the distance. हम कह सकते हैं कि either you will do some barter with somebody or there can be theft. And he says, while theft is a wrong thing, barter is actually a good thing. That means you are exchanging things, right? So according to him, both positive and negative can be there at any place, right? So this is what the criticism was. So we finished the first part of it. Now the second kind of exchange is redistribution. Redistribution में क्या होता है basically? This was explained by Polanyi and he defined it as systematic movement of goods towards administrative system and their reallotment. Wait, okay. So basically redistribution में क्या होता है? There is a movement of goods, systematic movement of goods from the place of production to a central authority and then it is reallotted. Okay, so it is redistributed. ठीक है, this is what redistribution is all about. ठीक है, and this can happen in both modern as well as simple societies. So basically, obviously you have seen in the modern societies as well. For example, the erstwhile Soviet Russia, there तो ये system follow होता था that whatever the state will produce, state as in the people of the country will produce, they will be collected at one place and then they will be redistributed to every citizen, right? And इतना बड़ा example नहीं भी ले तो what are taxes? Taxes are the same thing ना. Government takes taxes and then redistributes it in the form of good roads, right? Good roads, then welfare schemes, right? Old age pension, all of that. So this is we can see it in the modern times also. It is there in the primitive societies as well as in the modern societies. So basically what are the characteristics of redistribution? It will always happen in a hierarchical society. You will have to remember, when everybody is producing equally, when everybody has the whole same share, equal share, so then there is no redistribution is going to happen. Redistribution तभी होगा, मान लो किसी के पास 100 रुपये हैं, किसी के पास 50 हैं, किसी के पास 5 हैं, किसी के पास 2 हैं, किसी के पास 1000 हैं. So now this is an unequal distribution. And what the state will do, maybe it will take all of it and give everybody like 250 rupees each. So this would be redistribution. That means for redistribution to happen, there always has to be a hierarchy, and it happens from the individual of higher to lower rank. Obviously अब lower क्या redistribute करेगा? He should have the voice for that also ना. But जो lower rank में है, he will never have that voice, that say in the society. So obviously from the higher to the lower. And see, if this is a higher individual and there is these lower individuals in which the redistribution is going to happen, so the rights and obligations of these people versus this person would be different, right? So different bundles of rights and obligations. Then there is responsibility on the leader. Now why would anybody give his own production to a central authority for no reasons? There has to be certain reason. Now for example, if I say this leader of the group is there and everybody gives their produce to him, and then he redistributes, keeps a surplus for himself, that means his commission cut, whatever you can say, surplus for himself. But कोई free में तो नहीं करेगा ऐसा, right? Maybe this leader is protecting them from any external aggression, right? Wars, right? So he is giving them security. The tribe is feeling secured. So for that thing to happen, what is a state? What is a modern state? If state is taking taxes from us, what is it? It is the same principle that applies. Na? They take taxes from us because they want to whatever basic facilities that we get from the state, it comes from these taxes that we give them, be it the roads, be it the welfare schemes, all of this. So in return we are getting something, and then for that you are giving, you get into this idea of redistribution. So the characteristics would be, there will be social stratification in the society, and there will be minority rule over majority. There will be marginal economic surplus. पिछले में हमने देखा था there was no social stratification. The groups were equal in prestige, power, social status, economic status. Here there is economic surplus भी है. उधर there was no surplus. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा surplus भी है. You need to understand this because this is the basic differences, right? And then there is a central authority who is going to redistribute. So examples would be Savai of New Guinea. There the chief is known as a Muni, okay? And then there is Proja tribe, उसमें chief को नायक बोलते हैं. And what they do is ना, basically they community hunting करते हैं. That means they go and collectively hunt, but they will not have it on their own. They will come and give this community hunt to the naik. He'll keep his own portion of it and then distribute the hunt between the people, and it is called as beto. And this is how they work. The redistribution happens. So it happens in Trobriand islanders also, and in modern society भी हमने बात किया in the form of taxes, right? So I think we'll wrap up the lecture for today, and we'll take 1 or 2 lectures more and we will complete this topic. So if you like, guys, please like, share and subscribe, and any suggestions please post in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.